Hello, this is Miss Kay, and today we're going to talk about how to create a base for their clay mask with facial expressions. First, when you're gonna get your clay, you need to wedge it and knead it so you can get rid of the air bubbles. You need to stand up and start pressing on your piece, letting all the air out, and you're gradually making somewhat like a sphere, like a big ball. Okay, we're not using any water at this stage or later, so we avoid creating a mess. So I'm rolling it like a big giant sphere. After you form the ball, you need to start adding some pressure on it so you can shape it a bit more flat. Okay. And I'm going to change position quite often so my piece is not going to stick and glue itself on the table. Somewhat like this. I'm using this size of my hands, okay, trying to spread the pressure evenly. Now we're going to roll the rolling pin along it, but I'm trying to apply pressure evenly. So I'm mainly using again this size of my hand to distribute pressure evenly. I'm not pressing it with my fingers or only on one side because we need to have even pressure. Okay, so how thin you need to make it? You need to make it somewhat a thickness of a thumb, so something like this, not thinner, because clay is going to shrink and become thin. If it's too thin, it's going to be brittle and it will break, so we don't need this. And I'm rolling the shape that looks somewhat like a face, oval. You can make it a natural size or a little bit smaller. And this is our face. I'm going to smooth out all the edges here. Okay. And we need to make sure that there are no thin and brittle edges here, because they will crumble. At the ending stage, we're going to go back to this and do final smoothing. But as of now, this is fine. So on one of the sides, we're going to write the number before we forget. That's going to be the number of your class period and your alphabetical number. So let's say if you're in class period 3, in the third period, this is what you're going to write down quite big, make a point, and then your order number. For example, you are number 31, okay, and then I'm gonna put 331, okay. This way you can always find your piece without any problem. Then we're going to use somewhat like a bamboo stick to make a hole. I'm going to step out about ½ inch from the top side because this would be the place where we're gonna pull a string through to put your mask on the wall. Okay, something like this. Don't go closer because again it will break. Okay, so that would be at least ½ inch away from the edge. Okay, at least ½ inch away. So now we are ready to place our mask on a foundation. So I'm gonna set this aside, and now I'm gonna take this plastic plate as a foundation, and I'm going to use crumbled pages from a magazine or a newspaper to create some volume. Because face is round, somewhat round, and we need a base for it. Okay. So 4 or 5 pages is usually enough. Okay? Once you place it in the middle of the plate, which has this bumpy side up, I'm going to secure it with a masking tape. I'm going to secure it with masking tape. And that will be enough to hold it in place, okay? That will be enough to hold it in place. Now, that's a good foundation, and it's temporary. We're gonna take our mask and we're going to place it here on that foundation. This will help us to create the needed roundness. So your number is on the back. Your number is on the back. And I'm going to press it this way so I create a nice foundation. Okay. And we're going to let it sit for a little bit so it can begin to hold its shape. If you are almost at the end of the class period, we're going to put this in a plastic bag so the clay retains moisture, so we can continue working with this so it keeps its plasticity. So you can smooth out the edges, okay, and this will be foundation for your mask. Okay, on the side it will be looking like this. Okay, so thank you so much for your attention.